what's funny, I guess, anything you really enjoy, man. Anything that really makes you laugh. And I guess when you're a kid, you laugh at everything. When you get older, life gets complicated. And maybe it's just the shit that takes your mind off all the bad things in your life. Like your girlfriend's ugly, or your dog is constantly shitting on the carpet, and you just, whatever you, fucking dog, man, fucking one more shit, man. And then someone tells a joke,
What we strive to do as comedians is to be honest in a way that is disarming. And when I say honest, I don't mean that like your joke has to be a true story, but I mean that your joke has to reveal some truth that makes people feel superior or surprised or both, Yeah. And so, and whether that truth be about yourself or about themselves or about the world, that's what it is. I mean, but it's hard to say exactly what makes something funny.
To each his own. Like everybody's got a different sense of humor. Actually, people have an appreciation for humor. Very few have a sense of humor. I mean, look how many comedians there are just around here alone. How many do you really think are funny? You know what I'm saying? They have a sense of humor. Other people, like the audience, they have an appreciation for humor.
Some comics are like this joke isn't working, but I love it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm not going to change anything about it. I'm not going to try it a different way. I'm not going to dumb it down. I'm not going to explain it anymore. I'm not going to make it appealing or relatable to anybody else except for the people that fucking have my liberal arts degree or whatever the fuck. And it's like, and I think you might feel good, like you're sticking to your guns or whatever, but I don't think that works. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think you got to be able to appeal to everybody, but I don't know shit. If anybody ever asks me, is this funny? I'll either say yes, because I think it's funny, or I'll say no, but you should still try it.
I'm not racist or sexist or homophobic, but I find those things very funny. Especially, the real taboo stuff. I don't necessarily use it in my act. But like when I hear Brian Simpson talk about slavery, dude, I piss my pants laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a funny dude.
I can definitely say what's not funny. What's not funny is when you're abusive. I fucking hate that. Like, I don't think anybody, or when I think a mistake a lot of comics make are, they go for the shock value. And a lot of times they alienate the audience, and I don't like to do jokes where the joke is on them, just them, like, because people only want to laugh at themselves for a little while. It's like white guilt, It's like people they can only take so much of it before they're like, all right, I didn't own any slaves, you know what I mean? And those people are fucking. It's like your jokes. I think your jokes should either be, the joke is on me, the comic, or the joke is on us, all of us, including me, or the joke is on them, like we are laughing at them.
My first real closer, I had the first part of a joke down. I had one complete joke. Yeah. And then I had this experience with this guy, and we were about to get in a fight, and the dude was just a real douchebag, and I was just like, and it was on Christmas Day. Like, this guy wanted to fight me on Christmas. And we didn't get into it. His friend stopped it, broke it up, whatever. But I just kept thinking about it. I was like, what kind of a douchebag fights on Christmas Day? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be that person who punches people on Christmas? And I was so bothered by it. And I was like, you know what? What would I do to this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the worst thing I could do to this guy? And I was like, I'd rape him. That's what I would do. And so I told the joke at first, and raping people, that's not a real popular joke, idea or premise. But I knew there was something there. But it was so over the top I just had to keep trying, you know what I'm saying? And it was painful because it's such a negative thing, but if you can turn it around, the payoff is huge.
I have a joke about a time that I smoked too much weed, and I was on WebMD, and one of the symptoms was short, wide neck, and the only disease that popped up was Down syndrome, and I thought I was retarded for a while, and that's all I had at first. And just every now and then I would go on stage and just start talking about it, and nothing. And then one day, you know, the punchline came to me, you know, and that is the best. It's the best feeling in the world. Yeah, it's like you sticking with the fat, ugly girl. You know what I'm saying? She's fat and ugly and pimple-faced in junior year, and in senior year, you come back and she's the baddest bitch in the school. And you're like, hell yeah, I knew it. I knew it was something there.
Laughter is a nervous reaction. And in stand-up, it's a nervous reaction to the tension you've created in the room. And when you start talking about racism or sexism or being homophobic or rape or anything really evil like that, the tension gets so great, you got this giant bubble of pressure, and you're like, I just need to pop it. And when you pop it, everybody's like, oh, I'm so fucking relieved, and they give you this huge laugh, and you're like, oh, that, and you're like, I got it. That joke took me a few months, but it was the first closer I had, like really good closer, and it was my first callback. And it took a while, and it was painful, but once I got it, I used that thing for like 5 years.
It's taking someone down a path that they think that is familiar to them to a destination that they don't expect, right? And I mean that, but see, just that by itself doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like comedy is a whole bunch of shit. You know, it's like to be a good stand-up, you gotta be. It's not just one thing. We say it like it's one thing, but it's like you gotta be good at a lot of shit. You gotta be a good writer. You have to be emotionally intelligent. You have to be able to read people and their reactions and feel how the room is feeling and which direction it's going, so you know to not, you know, to lay off of the racial jokes or to lay off of the political jokes or to go into your you know, your happy-go-lucky shit or whatever you have in your back pocket. You know, you being able to read the room and being able to be presentable and stage presence and timing and work ethic, and it's all of this shit that goes into it that I just don't think that it's not measurable.
Yeah. I was in the Marine Corps, right? And that's a very intense, like basic training is a very intense time. You don't know how crazy these guys are, and they are insane, okay? They're drill instructors, and you're doing all kinds of weird stuff. You're rappelling off walls, you're throwing grenades. I mean, there's a lot of intense, like, high anxiety shit. And you're standing in, you know, formation at attention, and you can't talk. The only thing you can do when you're at attention is breathe and blink. You can't speak, you can't open your mouth, you can't scratch your face. It's very, very tense. And it's like that a lot. And you're just standing there, everybody's like, oh man, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? Oh my God, I'm gonna die, what am I doing? And then this guy farts, everybody's like, ah! That was great! And then, of course, they beat the shit out of you, you know, they make you do 100 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, but it's worth it. You know, it's that pop. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's funny. It's a tense, you know, moment, and then that happens, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's pretty good.
Perfect. Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you.